How's it going, guys? Alex here. Welcome back to another Dokkan Battle video, and today going to be showcasing the physical Super Trunks, and this is kind of the return of the Forgotten Unit series, just because we kind of got to the point where there is a certain amount of units that were optimal before that aren't so optimal now, so I thought it would be nice to bring the series back periodically so that I can show off some of these units. But they are basically just regular showcases, but obviously just Forgotten Units is the title of the series. But I hope you guys are having a great day as always, and if you do enjoy today's video, consider leaving a like and subscribing if you are new. So to move on to what the Trunks can do as soon as the super attack mechanic comes back around. So supreme damage, and he raises his own attack for 3 turns, and once the passive comes back around, I can go over that as well. He doesn't have that many potential system buffs. Yeah, the basic one. So key +4, and he also gets a 60% attack increase at the start of the turn. So he is self-sufficient. His main key link is going to be Prepare for Battle, his main attack link, Super Saiyan, and Fierce Battle. So he's self-sufficient. He has the main attack links, and he was pretty solid once that Broly lead. Well, the Broly lead was already out, but when the Trunks awakened, that is where people started to consider him a bit more because of how good of a unit he actually was. He was self-sufficient, you could hit relatively hard, especially if you had him at Super Attack 10. So what event is actually fitting for this? You know what, yeah, Kid Buu. We never actually saw, well, we saw it periodically in a series, the Trunks versus the Bora, but no Trunks versus Buu at any point, which was a bit of a shame. That would have been a cool fight to see. Let's go ahead and pick us up a Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks lead, and then we can move on to the showcase. There we go. This is the team that we are going to be using, and Kid Buu event isn't necessarily that hard. Well, I'll say that, but yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. So we have him in the first turn. Unfortunately, not going to be able to activate Soul versus Soul consistently, but obviously when you do activate that link, you will be able to do more damage against any Cell events, but there aren't any new Cell events around. Unless you are taking on the older one, it's not exactly going to have too much use, and I'm pretty certain that the link is only active against the event. I know for a fact that when you that the link is active against the Cell, but I don't know if you can activate it outside of that event. Alright, now let's put the Trunks. Let's put the Trunks up with the Gohan. So, unfortunately, the Gohan didn't awaken just yet, and he does have a decent amount of links with him. Of course, the main one is going to be Super Saiyan there. Now, I'm curious to see how hard he can hit. Of course, the Saiyan Man is at 100%, and attacks at 580k. Not awakened yet, of course. Now, we have the Trunks at 310,000, so I'm curious to see how hard he hits with the pan around, and of course, because of the way that his super attack mechanic works, he is going to be getting stronger and stronger with every single super attack. Now, let's put the pan in the last slot here. And another unit on the team who is actually self-sufficient is the Kaioken Goku. When you are above 50% of your health, I believe he gives free key to himself and, of course, the attack increase. But at the same time, he also has an extremely versatile link set. He has Prepare for Battle, Shocking Speed, Over in Flash, just an absolutely incredible unit. And I think if I ever manage to get him to 100% at some point, well, if I get any more dupes, I will be able to get him to 100%, because right now, he's around 73% in the potential system. So he still has a bit of a way to go. Again, I have absolutely no idea if that event is ever going to return. If it doesn't, then Pikkon, the Frieza, the Cell, and of course the Goku himself are going to be the rarest units in the game, alongside some of the rewards that we've got for login. But because of how good they are, or the Goku in particular, they are going to have a lot of value there. So, and even some of the other ones that aren't necessarily the greatest, they are going to have some value because they were part of a banner that hasn't come back yet. Maybe for an anniversary, but we legit haven't seen anything regarding the return of that event. So they didn't say whether or not it's going to be a limited time thing. It certainly didn't seem like that was going to be the case, but it could definitely be a possibility there. And that is the 11 key of Gotenks. And now that I think about it, this event probably wasn't the greatest choice to showcase him, just because the stages that we are taking on are quite easy to get past, but we're just getting a feel for him. Of course, once we move on to that physical type stage, or the N-type stage, I should say, we are going to have the pan in play, so we are going to get a nice estimate of how much of an increase she is going to be giving the Super Trunks. And at the same time, his super attack mechanic is still going to be activating. So, as you can see right here, the Goku's attack stat went up by around 180k. Granted, he is missing out on the Kamehameha link, but we can still get a bit of an estimate as to how hard, or as to how much of an increase he received from the Pan. Of course, she is a support unit that gives a 30% attack and defensive increase. And she also activates the Kamehameha link in that particular situation. Right, that is the physical Kid done. We are now moving on to the physical type stage. So let's see what we can do here with the Trunks. And the majority of his major attack is active. Again, we aren't capable of acting or of activating a link like Soul vs Soul. And just to quickly double check, I'll go over here. Soul vs Soul. Oh, it's not even an attack link. I'm pretty certain that it was an attack link. Or am I thinking about something else? Because I'm pretty certain that it was an attack link, unless they changed it. They must have changed it, because I'm pretty certain that Soul vs Soul was an attack link. I don't know, did they change it? Because I'm pretty certain it was either a 10 or a 15% attack link. I never saw it as a, unless I'm mistaking it for a different link. I'm pretty certain that it was always, so weakens the regeneration and gives the 1 key. So, if it did change at some point, it's, you know, pretty irrelevant now. But I'm pretty certain that at some point in time, it did give an attack increase. But yeah, that seemingly, I must be thinking about another link, because I'm pretty certain. I remember it now. Yeah, I got it confused with the, I believe it's the Blazing Battle link, which is the link that is strong against Broly, and of course the Family Kamehameha unit share that link. So when it comes to the Cell event, the, okay, 310k. Interesting. So, did it go up on that much at all? Hold on. I don't think it activated. Yeah, I don't believe that Pan's passive activated because she has a restriction, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to quickly double check. But yeah, the Blazing Battle link is the one that provides an attack increase. And of course that link is useful against the Broly event. But when it comes to the Soul vs Soul link, it weakens the regeneration and it provides ki. That is where I got a bit confused. So to jump over to the Pan real quick. Yeah, when health is 30% or above. So we did fall below that. See, the issue with the Kaioken Goku. Okay, so we might as well just take him out here and then just try to test him out on a different stage. But of course, unfortunately, Pan's passive wasn't active in that particular situation. I'm going to try to activate it and then just see where we can go from there. But this is pretty much the first stage taken care of, and now I will move on to a different stage to show him off. Okay, so I decided to take on Boss Rush real quick. Probably won't go beyond the Super Saiyan 4 Goku event, but we do have the Pan in this rotation, unfortunately. But at the very least, we can have that bit of a build-up for the Trunks, so that when she comes back around, at least he has like 2 or 3 stacks in his super attack. Of course, like I said, every single time that he super attacks, he gets stronger and stronger. So Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks should be enough to take care of majority Super Saiyan 3 Goku there. And we got the additional super attacks. That's more than enough. And there we go. So now, SCR stage, but our main goal isn't to do damage here, it's just to have a look at the attack stat. But if you give him a decent amount of potential system buffs, I say this all the time, just any unit with even the 3 potential system buffs will make a massive difference. And that is the 11 key super attack with the Gotenks as well. Unfortunately, my own Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is only at super attack 2 or 3, so still has quite a bit of a way to go. But I'm hoping I can pull a few dupes in the future. Just, well, at the very least, some tech ones wouldn't be like completely, wouldn't be a bad thing to pull, just so I can raise a super attack. And it's never a bad thing to pull dupes of units that you can raise a super attack of, but once you have like all of their paths unlocked and such, that is where it's kind of like, oh, okay, it could have been something else, but it's cool. Right, Vegeta going to town here. And now we have Trunks, so 310,000 seems to be his starting point when you have these particular links active, and I do not think Gotenks is going to take him out here, especially not because he's like at like super attack 2 or 3, like I mentioned before. But we do have Kaioken Goku, who is going to finish things off nicely here, and I'm getting the 11 key super attack with Gotenks quite consistently. It's a bit of a surprise, to be perfectly honest. 24k. Oh, that damage is not nice though. That is not a nice amount of damage. I mean, to be honest, I kind of expected the Kaioken Goku to hit a bit harder, but then again, One thing I'm actually curious about, is he going to be on a revived warrior category? I mean, he is a revived warrior he's an angel. I mean, Freeze is an angel. That is going to be a very interesting, like, decision on their part. Okay, so that is pretty much... Okay, the face cam kind of lagged there. But everything seems to be active here. We have the Pan, and her passive is active here. We have the Trunks with 1 stack. So this is going to be the 2nd stack. And we are also getting a 30% attack increase. So 410,000, that went up by around 100k. So I kind of wish I kept her around just for the sake of, like, what do you call it? Just for the sake of accuracy. But we can kind of estimate how much of an increase is going to be getting from every single super attack. I would imagine that every single time that he does super attack, he is going to be getting around a 50% increase, which seems pretty standard. It seems to be in line with what we know. And another 11 key super attack for both of them. Okay, so I don't know why, but today, for some reason, the key placement is just perfect. So maybe it's just these particular rotations, to be fair. When you have Kaioken Goku around, he only has the Over and the Flash Link, which does put Gotenks on 9 keys. So it gives you more room to play around with the orbs a little bit more. But in that particular rotation, you will need to get 2 orbs to get the 11 key super attack. Alternatively, you could just end up getting the 10 key super attack, which is still going to be hitting pretty hard. And 54,000, okay. Bless up for the Emma. Bless up for the Emma here. Now, how much is this going to hit for? 366k. And there we go. Taking no damage, of course. We have the Trunks here. So, I'm actually curious to see how much it's going to go down by. That is something that is going to be quite revealing, I suppose. Grab these, and then we can grab these with Vegito Blue. Right, just watch the Trunks get crit now, and we won't be... Okay, does he have a... Yeah, I think he does. I think he also has an above percentage restriction. Or passive, I should say. Now, Trunks, 347k. And that was the 3rd super attack. So I went from... His first super attack was 310,000. And then his second one was 410k. But that was with the Pan active. So I'm going to just say that his attack stat, with no potential system buff, super attack 10, starts around 300k. With a support unit in play, that could potentially go up to 400k if you were to give him the potential system buffs. That will most likely go up to around 500 to 600k at 100%. And a support unit in play, that is definitely going to be over 1 million, just basing it off units like Ultimate Gohan, because he doesn't have Super Saiyan, which is a pretty big attack link. I did try him out with a support unit in play, but his max was like around 900k. But because the future Trunks, or the Super Trunks, does the same thing, does have that, Super Saiyan link, I do believe that that could potentially take him over the Gohan, who doesn't necessarily have as many good attack links, but he does have a smaller attack increase. But like I said, one thing that this particular Trunks has over the Gohan is that he raises his own attack for 3 turns with his super attack mechanic. So if you were to super attack multiple times in 1 turn, if you were to, prioritize the additional attacks, then that's going to rise even further. Super Saiyan, Fierce Vassal. So you can see how high his attack stat can get, despite his passive not being as high as some of the other units in the game. And if you have a support unit in play, that is going to be relatively high as well. But I think I've pretty much covered everything. He is a pretty solid unit. And I think we can pretty much finish it off with anyone here. He is pretty solid, so if you don't have any good options for your physical type team, and maybe you just have some dupes laying around, honestly, let's say you have 4 dupes. Generally, you would open just all the paths, right? I would personally just open the top left path and the top right path, or the bottom right path, and then just focus on either giving him a high additional level or crit level. But I think it's just best to go for crits, because you are going to have 11 additional anyway because of the way that the physical and agility type units work, and you have 22% chance to get an additional super attack. And if you do get that additional super attack, then of course that is going to raise the attack stat of the Trunks even further. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video as always, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next one.